It's been a cold few weeks and autumn has already given us lots of snow to enjoy. This is going to be our second winter in our cottage in Norway, and to us, all this snow feels like an early Christmas present. On the weekends, we head out early to catch as much daylight as we can and exhaust ourselves on our skis before we come back home and warm ourselves by the fire. I really enjoy the colder seasons as they seem to grant us permission to live at a slower pace than usual, which to me makes it feel easier to embrace it. As we're heading towards the end of the year, my mind is in need of some reflection time, and I thought it might be of help to you as well to share my way of doing that. Hi, my name is Iris. I am from the Netherlands and I moved to Norway a little over 1.5 years ago. I run my small business called Alta High on Life from my Norwegian cottage. And I am a product designer and I create paper toolkits for people to design a career and a life they will love. I am very passionate about creative wellness and I very much believe in the benefits of using design tools for creating a life you want to live. When we have more clarity and headspace to focus on what really matters to us in our lives, we can focus our energy on taking steps towards those priorities. So the hands-on exercises I use for self-reflection in this video, I have created myself. Right now it's the beginning of December, which means Sinterklaas time for the Dutchies. I am making kruidnootjes right now, which is the main treat of this feast of Sinterklaas. It's kind of like Christmas, since we celebrate with the family, with gifts and stuff, but we also write silly poems for each other. It's kind of a strange holiday to explain to people. But for us, it's just fun, and it's kind of like a nice warm-up for Christmas, I guess. We'll also celebrate Christmas, of course, with a decorated tree and a nice family dinner. This year I decided to create some Christmas tree ornaments myself, since I set the intention to decorate the tree a little more creatively. Having a bit of fun with it was the goal, not wanting to make it look like a catalog tree. So when taking the time to really reflect on my year, nothing brings me more sense of clarity than keeping track of what drives me, where I'm at right now and where I want to go. I often go back to the 5 exercises of my own Alta High Life toolkit for clarity and focus. And I actually designed this toolkit when I felt completely lost and overwhelmed in my life. And ever since, it has been my go-to self-help tool to untangle my thoughts and get some clarity again. As you can see, I have already filled it in before, last year to be exact. And the goal for me now is to reflect on it and see what stands out, assess my year according to everything that I filled in last year, and think about what intentions I can set for the new year based on this reflection. The goal of the first exercise is to gain clarity on what makes me who I am. Which of my interests and strengths am I most excited about? So what stands out to me is that I put my curiosity and creativity on number 1 here. When I reflect back on this year, I made a real effort to cultivate my creative self more and feed my curiosity by listening to lots of interesting podcasts and books. For the second exercise, the focus is on which daily activities have the most positive impact on how I feel, both in work and leisure, and why these are important to me to pursue as often as possible. For me, freedom in setting up my own projects that build upon my specific expertise in design is high up on my list, and I was indeed able to develop some projects this past year. The third exercise takes me back to the past and lets me map out all that was interesting to me when I was younger. What stands out to me is that in these other phases in my life, especially as a teen, music was everything. Going to concerts, music lessons, writing songs. I still love all that, but I must say this year there was way too little of that in my life. The fourth exercise is about dreams and ambitions, big and small. I have a lot written down here, but I think the one that stands out to me most and has gotten the most of my attention this last year is taking some real time off to go outside and explore the outdoors so close to home. The fifth exercise is the one in which the most important insights come together in one overview, defined as my guiding principles for my work life, my personal life, and my future life. Here, time management, cultivating my creativity, and personal pep talks for positivity are on my action list. I am not sure if I have been implementing all of these the way I imagined this past year. I guess when it comes to cultivating my creativity this past year, I feel I have put in real effort. Not only on a productivity level, but also on a mental level. I really have become better at creating without judgment. So, for the new year, freely experimenting is again the goal. It's liberating and it takes out the judgment and is therefore way more fun. My music side, though, has been a bit neglected somehow. But I really want to make the effort this year to go to more concerts, pick up my guitar again, sing more, and start penning down some ideas for lyrics. Some other things I would like to include more into my day-to-day this upcoming year are daily affirmations for a good old healthy pep talk, and being very strict with how much time I spend on tasks. If I don't set a tight deadline, I'll keep spending too much time on things that matter too little. And last but not least, which I think is overall the most important for another year around the sun, is spending time with the people I love as much as possible and taking good care of them in any way I'm able to. So that's it for me. I feel it has been really helpful to take a closer look at this past year and see what things I can focus on for the next year to actually double down on the good vibes. I really hope you get a chance as well yourself to do this in any way that works for you. If you are interested in my toolkit, I'll leave a link below. But of course, there's no obligation whatsoever. I just hope you will take some time to reflect and focus on what has served you this year. And take some time to see what things really deserve your attention in the new year. Don't put too much pressure on it though. Think of ways to make it as joyful and fun as possible. I wish you a wonderful Christmas holiday and I hope to see you in the next year. Bye!